In today's tutorial, let's do a shawl together. It's called the Frosted Layer Cake Shawl, and this is by my assistant, Jeannie. And welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host, Mikey. Today we're going to work on my assistant, Jeannie's shawl, and she called this the Frosted Layer Cake Shawl. And she came up with this pattern and used the Caron Cakes as you see here on screen. Now the colors that you saw within her model here is the colors as they come out of the yarn ball. So there's no doctoring of colors. So as the colors change, she just kept on going and it creates the amazing shawl that she used. So it uses 2.5 of these Caron Cakes just like you see here. And you will also need a 5.5mm size eye crochet hook in order to play. Also you're going to need one little stitch marker, which could be spare yarn or stitch markers, whatever you prefer. So let's get started on her pattern today. So let's get started on today's pattern and create a slip knot. This is classified as easy, and of course if I'm going too fast there are slower tutorials available, but you also can slow down the video with slow motion as well. So let's begin with the slip knot. Remember that never counts as one and we need to chain 4. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3 and 4, and let's stop and let's begin to work on the rest of this. So what I want to do now is that I want to go to the very first chain that we started right where I'm pinching right down here, and I want to do 8 double crochets in there. So I just want to wrap the hook and going into that same chain I want to put 8 into this one. This will create a triangle looking shape. So let's count those together. So it was 1 and 2, 3, 4, well I could try that one again. That was 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. So there is my 8 starting right there. So what I want you to do is I want you to count these numbers. So remember how we skipped over a certain amount? So that classifies as one of them. So there should be a total of what appears to be 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So I'm gonna count that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So with that chaining of 4 that you started with and the 8 that was right in the center, that gives you a total of 9. So you need an odd number in order to make this happen. So let's move along and we're gonna place a stitch marker. So we're gonna go into the 5th one. So right from the very first one. So go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Place your hook in to the top of the stitch, and what we're doing is we're locating the very center of this so that we can keep an eye on where this is. So we're just gonna pull it through. It's just gonna hold there, and you're gonna know that this is the center point of your shawl each and every time, and we're gonna move that up as we go. So let's put your hook back in, let's turn our work, and let's go for row number 2. So let's begin row number 2, and this is classified as the right side. So we're gonna start seeing texture happen here. So let's begin. We're going to start off right where we are and we're going to chain 4. This counts as a double crochet, so the chaining of 3 right there was a double crochet. Add one more, which is your chain 4. Okay, that counts as a double crochet and chain 1. We're gonna come back down into the same stitch right here and we're gonna double crochet. So right every time you're on an edge, just like so, it's gonna appear like there's a gapping space, which is what it should be. So the next one is going to be, next stitch is 1 double crochet, just like this, and then the next one stitch is going to be a front post double crochet. So right down into this post, wrap that hook going into the side of the post and out the other side, and you're gonna double crochet. So that's a front post double crochet. Here comes your texture right there, and the next one is gonna be 1 double crochet like this. Now the next one that is marked, that's where we need to keep an eye on. So the next one that is marked, before we get there we have to chain 1 first. So we have to compensate for it to be opening up. So this is what we're doing at this point. You're gonna double crochet right where you've done the other one. Okay, just like there. And then before you can move down to the other side of the triangle, you have to chain 1 first and then move down. So what you do on one side you're gonna do on the other. So you see the other side was a double crochet in the next one. So we're just gonna do this one as a double crochet. And then if you look to the other side, the next one was a front post double crochet. So I'm just trying to get you to look to the other side to create a mirror image, but you can also count out your stitches too. And then the next 2 here are going to be 1 double crochet each like this. So that one plus the turning chain, but the turning chain has something a little bit extra for you, and so not only is there 1 double crochet in there, but you're gonna chain 1 and double crochet back into there. and that was just like you had started on the other side with the chaining of 4 and then 1 double crochet into the same one. So you should have what appears to be a triangle still. So let's move along to row number 3. Now before I move up into the row number 3, what I want to do is that, see the stitch marker here? I want to move it up to the center. So if it were me and I were you, in time you would not have to move that up because you'll be able to recognize it. So it's the middle one, just like you see here. Okay, so you want to move up and you want to get to that middle one that's popping out. See that? Just follow it straight up, and I want you to move that stitch marker up so you can identify it next time. It gets easier to be able to identify it as you get more experience. So let's start. We want to chain 4, which counts as a 1 double crochet and chain 1. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Coming into the exact same stitch right where you were is you're going to do a double crochet. So it's right in the top there, and we want to pay attention to that because you have a chain 1 space here. So what you need to do for this row here is that we need to fill in all of these spaces, including this first chain 1 space. So fill that space in with another double crochet, and you're gonna double crochet yourself here into the next 4. So you can count your stitches, or you can just look for the signs once you get used to this pattern. So that was 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now here's where it's gonna vary. So you have a chain 1 space, a double crochet, which is your center, and a chain 1 space and another double crochet over here. So right here what we want to do here is that we want to kind of mimic what we've already done before. So you see that you got 3 double crochets, they had a chain 1 space. So in the chain 1 space this time is gonna be a double crochet, chain 1, come into the middle one, which will be the center. If you want to move the stitch marker up after this point you can, followed by a chain 1, and then come into the other side, which is chain 1 space, and you're going to double crochet like that. Now you're gonna just move across to the other side, and it's all just straight double crochet to here, to the other side, except for when we get too close to the edge. So we're gonna repeating certain patterns, certain rows as we go, and once we get onto the repeat pattern, then it'll become very easy for you. So right now you have a chain 1 space in the final turning chain, so you're gonna put a double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then on top of the turning chain it's gonna be a double crochet, go right into a turning chain, like don't do what I just did. So right into a turning chain, so double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, just like that. So the one row that when we're doing this is gonna have the front post double crochet, and the one row is just gonna be regular double crochets to make it easier for you. So let's move along to row number 4. So let's turn our work and do row number 4. So rows 4 and 5 are gonna be the repeat pattern as we get bigger and bigger. So let's just move up our stitch marker just one last time so that you can see it. So I'm just gonna follow it straight up, and again you'll be able to identify that in no time at all. You probably will not have to move these much, and again Jeannie's suggested that just to make it easier for you, which is a great suggestion. So let's turn our work here and go up for row number 4. So row number 4 we're gonna play with the front post double crochets again, and then in row number 5 we're just back to double crochets in order to keep this pattern moving along. So we had a front post double crochet here in row number 2 just like here, and this time we're gonna bring it back. So you have one here, but now we gotta establish it once again and put more in. So to do that it's just gonna be very simple. So row number 4, so we're gonna chain up 4, which is your double crochet and chain 1, just like that, and you're gonna double crochet into that same stitch right at the top. So you already know how to do that, just like that. So now she's asking us to put in a double crochet in the next chain 1 space, so just right in the chain 1 space, and now we're gonna start doing our front post double crochet. So it's very simple what she has. So the next one is a front post double crochet, and then the next stitch here is just a double crochet, just like that. The next one is a front post double crochet. Are you getting it? Isn't that easy? And then the next one is a double crochet, and you're gonna keep doing that until you get to that chain 1 space that is in the center point coming up over here. So we just keep adding more and more. This is giving texture, and you keep just going along until you get to that chain 1 space. So the final one right before the chain 1 space is gonna be a front post double crochet. So just like we had before, so the first chain 1 space it's going to be a double crochet, chain 1, you're gonna come to the middle one, okay, where it's marked. If you can identify, great. And then chain 1, come to the other chain 1 space on the other side and do a double crochet. So now you're gonna move down to the other side of the shawl. So you got a mirror. So remember the last one here was a front post double crochet, so this means this one has to be a front post double crochet to begin, to keep it even. So a front post double crochet, the next one is a, that's right, it's a double crochet, the next one's a front post. So it's just every other one is the other stitch. And you keep working yourself down the side until you get to that chain 1 space near the end. Just like that. So the last one then, just like so, is just gonna be quite easy. So right now when we go to look at it, right now you see that there's 3 stitches in the very end. So you right into the side here and here. So do you see that there's 3? So when I go to look at it here, the last few stitches are going to be different than what is on the other side. So here is the 2 that are belonging together. The first one there is going to be a front post double crochet as you finish. Okay, so now in the chain 1 space you're going to put in a double crochet, and then in the turning chain right here you'll put a double crochet again, chain 1 and double crochet. Just like that. So when you look at it, see you got 3 here and then a front post double crochet, just like you had 3 on this side and then a front post double crochet. Let's move along. I'm going to show you this repeat pattern once again later on, but let's turn our work and let's do row number 5 together. So row number 5 is the easy row of them all. So and we're gonna do this every other row. So you're gonna chain up 4, which counts as your double crochet and chain 1, and coming into the same one. Just like there. So you've just now created that new gapping space that you will use later. And right here is a gapping space here, and you're gonna fill that in with the double crochet. That's a chain 1 space there. And now you're just gonna do double crochets all the way to the center point again. And let's keep on going. I never moved up the stitch marker last time. I should have, just for tutorial reasons, but I'm hoping that you can identify it. So this one is just a matter of filling all them in with double crochets all the way back to the point. Okay, so you keep on going. So right into the last one here, and then the next one is a chain 1 space. So here's chain 1 space, here's the middle, another chain 1 space. So in the chain 1 space it's gonna be a double crochet followed by chain 1, come into the middle one, that's a double crochet, followed by a chain 1, and then into the other chain 1 space is a double crochet. So you're just gonna move down then, just following along. Every stitch is just gonna get a double crochet right into the near to the end, and we just want to watch that on the other side. I am going to show you how to do number 4 once again, because you're just gonna keep repeating this pattern until you get to the size that you would prefer, and those instructions are on there on the pattern and how big she got it as well. I'm also going to make sure that we finish on row number 4, she states, and then the row number 4 is the one with the front post double crochet, so that gives you an indication. So you can finish at any time, make it as big or small as you want to, just make sure you finish it on row number 4. So coming near to the end, so here is the last stitch here. There is still a chain 1 space. We're gonna fill that in, and in the turning chain we're gonna place in a double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet, just like you see here. Okay, so let's begin again, and I'm gonna show you row number 4 once again. So as we go for row number 4, the only difference is that it's bigger. Okay, so that it's longer here on both sides. Therefore there's gonna be more front post double crochets in order to work with. So let's begin. We're gonna chain up 4. Remember that's a double crochet and chaining of chain 1. Coming into the same stitch right below into that same one is a double crochet. You're gonna feed this chain 1 space with the double crochet again, and now we're going to begin doing those front posts again. So immediately in the one that starts right after is a front post double crochet, and then we're gonna do a double into the next and front. And you keep alternating back and forth until you get near to the center. So now I'm into the middle, so I can see that there's a chain 1 space, the center, and chain 1 space. So right now this is I finished off with the front post double crochet, which is right, and the first chain 1 space is gonna be a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the middle one like so, then chain 1 and double crochet into the next chain 1 space. So as you start this side, the first one is a front post double crochet, and then you keep alternating back and forth. I think the color has just changed on my yarn ball as well, which is kind of neat. So it's now I think more blue. It's hard to tell in this lighting. The lighting is exceptionally bright here at the studio. So I'm just alternating as I hit the other side. And so row number 4, which is right now that I'm working on, is going to be the final row when you get to the size that you prefer. And of course she has recommended sizes that you want. It's a very generous shawl to keep you nice and warm in the cooler temperatures. It's great for wearing outside and etc. So I'm just alternating back and forth just like this. I skipped a stitch by accident again. Does happen. And how I know that is that this last stitch before it goes to this one, so this one right here, should be a front post double crochet. So now in the chain 1 space I'm going to place in a double crochet, and then in the turning chain itself it's going to be a double crochet. I want to go right into the chain, not to a gap space. It's going to be double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. So now you're just gonna go back to row number 5, and row number 5 is just very simple. It's just double crochets all the way across. Watch out for that middle part, and then you'll come out back to the other side and then finish off, and then you'll be back to doing row number 4 once again, which is all the texture. So here's what it looks like on the back. It's very simple on the back. The other side has texture. So you're just gonna keep going to the size you want, and I'm gonna show you how to do her trim next. So once you get to the desired size that you want, you have to finish on row number 4. So you can see the texture is in front of me. So I want to turn my work, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna work up along the side, okay, and come across and then along the bottom just like so. So to begin to do the edging then, very simple. It's just chain 1 and 1 single crochet into the beginning, and she's asking for a single crochet then into the chain 1 space just like you see here. Okay, and then single crochet into sorry, now we have to do a chain 2. So we single crocheted in the first one, we single crocheted into the chain 1 space, and now we chain 2. So she says single crochet into the next 2 stitches, so this just go into the next 2. So 1 and 2, and then she says to chain 2 again, so 1 and 2, and then single crochet in the next 2 chains. So you're not skipping anything on the row, but what it's doing is it's creating some pivoting kind of ideas. So 1 and 2, and then go to the next one just like this. So the next 2 are like that, so chain 2, and you're gonna work along the sides doing that until you get to the middle point, and I'll show you what to do at the middle. So let me bring you back to the middle point, and I'll show you what to do from that point. So as you get close to the middle, you're just gonna follow the pattern as it turns around into the point. Okay, so the next, so it's chain 2, and then the next 2 here are just going to be single crochets. So here's the chain 1 space, and what I want to do is that I want to make sure that I'm operating this properly in order to do the corner. So what I want to do at that point is that I want to single crochet into each one of these 3. So into a space, into the middle, and into the space just like so, and then you're gonna begin the pattern again. So what we have is the next 2 are gonna be single crochets like this, chain 2, and then coming into the next 2 as single crochets like this. So it kind of wheels around the bottom just like that, and then it picks up once again of doing the same concept. So let me meet you onto the other side, and then we'll do the base together, which is the starting point that we had on the other side, and that's what we're gonna do. So as we come out to the final side on this side over here, we're just continuing the pattern as we were before. So we're just gonna carry it right to the single crochet, or to the chain 1 space, and then right to the very top. So now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna work ourselves along the top as she says it, and so we're gonna turn it over. So here's what it kind of looks like at this moment. I've just here the base, so this your shoulders up here, this is the base. Obviously it'll be a lot bigger. So now we're gonna work along the top edge just like this. So let's begin that. So right now she's telling us to do some single crochets into each row. So the rows come up, and you'll see that they are at the tops here. So what she's asking us to do to begin is that we're going to single crochet into right into the very first one right here. Okay, so we're just gonna come into there, and we've already kind of done it when we finished off the last one. So we're gonna just go right into the top, just like here, to a side post, chain 2, and then come to the next one over here. Okay, and then chain 2, and then come into the next row, chain 2, and chain 2 after that. And you keep working yourself all the way across like that. So chain 2, okay, and then eventually you're gonna hit the center point like I'm about to. So chain 2, and you're doing the center point, chain 2, and then jumping to the other side. If you want to bury in your loose ends, now's the time to do it as well. So 1, 2, and coming up to the side of the next rows. Use your darning needles if you would like to really hide in your yarn, of course, and just keep on going. So this shawl has really some nice texture to it. It's not overdone. The yarn does the work to create the look that it has, and then you're just gonna create it right to the end. So once you get into the very final end right here, I would just slip stitch it then to the beginning on the other side, and then that's it. So this is kind of like a miniature of the shawl. You can remove out your stitch needle markers, you can fasten off your yarns, and you can enjoy this great little cake. And once you get all more and more colors, you'll see that the colors will change on its own, and you can create the look just like Jeannie has. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crafter. Have a good day. Bye bye.